Having partnered with Valerium PLC and having them as one of our strategic investors, this elevates us to new heights. We can start offering our combined services and Fidium services to larger clients. And for us, this is such a great benefit. Having their backing, we can target much larger customers.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Fidium Group CEO Anastasia Plotnikova. Anastasia, very good to meet you. How does this investment align with Fidium's growth strategy and long-term vision?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. For us, Valerium's trust and investment into Fidium Group means a lot, and also it means a lot on the very practical level. Fidium, we position ourselves as a regulatory-first company, and Valerium being regulated in El Salvador, and they already have that strategic positioning and marketplace and market share in that region. So for us, it was a very natural fit that we can work together, and we're actually working on deploying our solutions together to B2B client base, and we're very excited about that.
How will access to Valerium's DASP license in El Salvador enhance your regulatory capabilities?
So on our side, on Fidium side, we're licensed and authorized mostly in absolutely different sides of the world. So it is in Europe, Australia, Canada, and we have mix of payment licenses and so-called crypto licenses. What Valerium has, and not too many people know that DASP license in El Salvador is very hard to get because regulatory requirement supervision is on the highest level. That license will allow us to enter Latin market and start supporting not only Valerium's offering, but our joint offering to ever-expanding client base. On our side, the very clear benefit to us, we don't need to go through licensing ourselves, and we can combine our efforts and both of our technologies and offerings, put them under one very cohesive umbrella and go to market much faster.
How do you see this investment accelerating tokenization of real-world assets?
So tokenization, it's such an interesting topic. We've been talking about tokenization since 2017, but finally with the appropriate regulatory requirements coming out of El Salvador and Dubai with their VARA licensing and technology that Valerium has built, now is the time to actually capture those clients. The market is primed for that. There is a legal requirements and there is a technical capabilities to actually start offering those services. Fidium, our job will be to empower all the payment side of these offerings. Imagine if you are selling real estate or stocks or bonds that are tokenized, the inflow of crypto to fiat and vice versa. This will be our job to empower that for very smooth client acquisition and processing for those larger deals.
Anastasia, what impact will institutional trading and OTC liquidity have on your platform's appeal?
For large institutions, and to be fair, for any institutions, liquidity is of the utmost importance. If you're a large client, you need to have partners with very deep liquidity in order to process those transactions. Imagine we have clients, and Valerium has client list of very large multi-million dollar transactions. That liquidity has to come from somewhere, but mind you, it has to come from the regulated environment. You can't source that liquidity from nilly-willy providers that are based in some weird offshore jurisdictions. So this is the core component of this cooperation.
Where does this position Fidium relative to major competitors in the crypto infrastructure space?
Having partnered with Valerium PLC and having them as one of our strategic investors, this elevates us to new heights. We can start offering our combined services and Fidium services to larger clients. And for us, this is such a great benefit. Having their backing, we can target much larger customers. So let's say from tier 3 or tier 2 banks, we can approach tier 1 banks as well as other public entities. So on our side, we're beyond excited.
Anastasia, I hope you'll keep us posted on progress with this. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Anastasia Plotnikova, CEO of Fidium Group.